Alright guys, so brand new video, old content again. Barely got a chance to get to editing this thing. So anyways, yeah, I got my BMW, my 330 Ci convertible, and as you can tell, this is my first time ever dipping a vehicle. I'm using a 1.7 Hvlp spray gun. This is the R500 Spray It. And I went with the 1.7 because I believe I read that you could do a 1.8 to a 2.0. I didn't have any of those. I think the 1.7 is what I had, lying around. And so I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. I have the spray guns already because obviously I paint. So I figured I'm not gonna buy the specific gun for this, like the DYC gun or whatever. And it seemed to be doing the job pretty good. It was laying down the material, the Plasti dip, really smooth and really fine. But the problem was that it was working way too slow. So I wasn't really building up as quick as I wanted to, and it was making this actually a very long project, or it was taking too long. So I eventually ended up switching the gun. But as of now, I'm at a 1.7. Again, LVLP. Maybe if it was HVLP, it might have helped a little bit. Who knows? I don't know. I did the first coat, and again, the coverage wasn't all that great, and I also felt like I was wasting more material than I was actually getting on there. I did the panels on the side, so anyways, I wasn't too convinced that this was the gun that I was gonna have to use. So I eventually went and I got me a gun from Harbor Freight, which is I believe it was like a 3-stage. Is it a 3-stage or two? No, sorry, it's a 2-stage HVLP electric spray gun. See right here, I kept getting the nozzle kept getting clogged up, and I kept having to clean it. I kid you not, like maybe every minute or every 2 minutes. See, I was also even changing the direction of the spray pattern because I felt like I was leaving too much tiger stripes, and I didn't know if that's just the way this stuff shoots or if that's the way just the gun was shooting it. I don't know, guys. It was my first time, so I've shot plastic dip before, and I shot it with rattle can, and I do really good with shooting it with rattle can. I thought it was gonna be pretty similar. In some ways it was, in other ways it wasn't. It definitely isn't like shooting paint. I was shooting it like if I was shooting obviously like base coat, clear coat, or single stage, whatever. But here is where I get I went to Harbor Freight that same day, and I was like, you know what? Now I was like, I don't like the way this is shooting. Now I'm gonna tell you that the minute I started shooting with this thing, I was like, heck yes. There was a lot more material spraying on there. It just looked like it was doing the job. So, and you can see it looks even more wet. But the downfall about using this gun is that what do you call it? The pickup straw, or the whatever it is that's inside the pot, that straw that obviously siphons the material. I felt like it just, for doing panels when you're spraying down, it didn't do a very good job at it. You had to have the pot completely full, and you actually went through the material so fast that you had to fill up the pot like maybe twice just to complete a hood. So as you see, there you go. Well, one, it's getting gunked up, and two, the straw is not picking up material like it should. So see, I kept having to like pick it up, spray it, flat in a flat pattern or flat direction, whatever. See, I kept crisscrossing my spray pattern, and eventually it all laid down, and it laid down smooth. Because I'm used to obviously coming from clear coat, I thought I was gonna leave these stripes, and it really wasn't. It was actually, it was drying up, evenly. So there wasn't really a big problem to that. But again, just out of habit, I kept trying to get it kind of like a wet consistency. And so yeah, this is the 2-stage HVLP from Harbor Freight, and that actually works really good, guys. It works so good that I was actually interested in spraying a vehicle with this, doing like a automotive paint, clear coat paint job, base coat. It is I think it's a 1.0 tip for the smallest the smaller option, and it is a 1 point no I'm sorry, it's a 3.0 for the bigger option. So right here I'm using a 3.0, but I have the gun dialed down to where I'm not like just splattering material. I just like any other gun, you want to reduce the material flow. So that's pretty much what I did. Now you could also adjust the fan pattern just a bit, not too much, and then obviously adjust. You just work with your distance, and that's pretty much how you get the settings to this gun. And it sprayed great. Like it sprayed really good. I've never sprayed a DYC spray gun before, so I couldn't compare them. But I just gotta tell you that from what I was using, that 1.7 LVLP, this was more of a cannon, and it got through the stuff real quick. Like I said, just a downside, I just did not like how it sprayed on flat panels on what's the word I'm trying to look for? Anyways, I'll think about it later. Anyways, right here it sprayed just fine. Yeah, again, curious to see how this stuff would do with the real paint. But so I ended up actually messing up this paint job, this dip job, I mean, and it totally was not on fault of the material, the product. It was totally the user's fault. It was my fault. I decided to add. I wanted to do like this, completely cool custom color or something like that. I'm shooting the black now, and I had a Wicked Wine, right, and that was gonna be kind of like my second base. So I had this dip actually for many years, guys. Yeah, I'm surprised if it wasn't gonna if it wasn't gonna be expired already. But I had it for like 7 years, and I was like, I gotta use this stuff before I really can't use it. And when I was mixing it, I gotta tell you, it was really clumpy at the bottom. And again, that's my fault for taking forever to use this stuff. I actually bought this stuff when, what was it? The website was actually selling it for like $50. I think it was 50 or 60, somewhere around there. It was really cheap. I see the kits now, or even the gallons, and they're going for what is like 120. So they've gone up, a lot in price since I bought this. Since I bought my first gallons. And anyway, so I was like, okay, I gotta use this stuff. Let's try it on my BMW. The paint wasn't horrible, but I wanted to just experiment. And since it's removable, I said, why not? And if I didn't like it, whatever, peel it off. Plan B was to repaint the car black. Obviously, automotive paint, not Plasti dip. But anyways, as I'm spraying the this Wicked Wine, I'm like, cool, this thing sprays good. It has great coverage. Spraying out the gun pretty good. Again, got to clean the gun over and over. If you saw, I was having trouble again laying down on the hood. But on every other panel, it was fine. Like the doors, the fenders, the sprays just fine. And so it's only when I'm spraying downward position that it gives me an issue. Oh, and then when I was spraying these side mirrors, I noticed that right underneath the side mirrors, I was getting a lot of like grainy texture, and I think it's because I was spraying at far. And that's actually how I ended up messing up this whole project, which I was really bummed. But whatever, it's a live and learn situation, right? This is how I became, a painter, and I became a tattoo artist, and I became a barber, and everything else that I hold as a professional trade now. It's all trial and error. But I ended up shooting clear over this, right? Obviously with the Plasti dip clear. So I wanted to do the Wicked Wine, and over the Wicked Wine I wanted to do some flake and pearl, or was it just flake? I think it was just flake. So when I shot the flake, I shot it with the clear, obviously, right? And I shot it at far. You can see my fingernails all dirty with all this Plasti dip stuff all gunked up. Anyways, I shot it from far like I would have shot it with automotive clear, because that's how I apply my flake. I shoot it from far just so it lands on the panel, right? And especially because I don't want to run it. I don't want to run the clear with the flake. But I learned that you don't do that with this stuff. You don't do that with this product. You actually want to shoot it close and shoot it wet, because what ended up happening was I ended up getting a lot of dry spots throughout. Well, I mean, the whole car had dry spots everywhere. And not to mention, it just felt really grainy because of the flake. So, just to kind of like give you guys what is it called? What the heck is it called when you pretty much I forget it, whatever. I'm not even gonna try to remember that. But I'm gonna pretty much. Oh, spoiler alert! There you go, spoiler alert. I end up removing this whole plastic dip, guys. Literally the day after. So check it out. This is where the wicked wine was applied, and it was dried, and it looked freaking good. On camera, it doesn't really pick up the color well, but it actually is a deeper red. Right here, it kind of looks like it's how would I say, like it kind of has like a rose gold shift to like an orangey pearl to a shift to like, I don't know. It just doesn't really have that red, that reddish, that wineish color through camera. But again, it is more red than what you see here. It's just, obviously the probably the camera quality or the settings or whatnot. So this is where I completely destroyed this freaking job. This is where I throw on the clear, the plastic dip clear, the plastic dip top coat with the I believe that's this, right? I don't know. I don't know if I'm still shooting the wicked wine or if I'm shooting the clear yet. No, it looks like it's shooting red, so it might be the wicked wine. I don't know, guys. We'll get a better, clear picture right now. But yeah, it looked cool just with just the wicked wine. But again, just me always trying to experiment. I know most people are like, well, why don't you just shoot, a panel, separately to try it out. That's not the type of person I am. I'm the type of person where I'm just gonna just wing it the whole way. Not gonna do little bitty pieces. Although, you know what? After this many failures of doing projects, I think I just might start doing these smaller test panels. I was just impatient and I just wanted to get right to it. So, whatever. It happened. Again, I wasn't, and I also kind of regretted using. I think I used like an orange flake along with a ruby-ish. I think I used like three different colors on the flake, and at the end I was like, I should have left the orange and the gold flake. I should have left it out because it gave the car a much more orangey look to it once it was dried and out in the sun. But don't get me wrong, it was still cool. I think the concept was really cool. It's just you just gotta apply it right. See, here it is. This is where yeah, for sure. So I was applying the flake this whole time, and you see I'm doing like cross hatch motions, and that's just kind of like sprayed on evenly. And then I also messed up because the whole hood was covered in flake, way more than the rest of the car. Gave it a cool little effect, but yeah. So this is after. This is after I am done with the flake, and I don't think you can see it, but in the next couple clips I'm gonna pretty much get close up, and that way you guys can see right there, so you can see all the little grain right there on the hood too. It looks very textury, very orange peely. Again, it's mainly because it's honestly it really is just because of the flake. It wasn't because of the application, because that gun laid down the plastic dip really well, really smooth, fast too. So here it is. Here's the flake out in the sun. Look pretty cool. As you can see, you can see the hint of like the gold flakes and the what are they called, what's that color for orange? I forgot it, but it's like a copperish orange. So you can still notice the deep wine tones to it, so it look cool. But then another thing, I'm really picky, guys, so another thing that I didn't like was the, how would I say, like the separation of the color of the car with the top. I think it looks tacky, so I didn't like that. That was getting on my nerves. I prefer to have the color black with a black top. It just blends it well, even though I don't even like black tops. I don't like soft tops, period. So this is me peeling it off. And it was actually really easy to peel off, guys. As far as like once you got like the corner, peeled off, everything else, blue. Look at, boom. I remember removing what is it, the vinyl wrap, and that thing's a pain in the butt. If you do it the right way, it'll remove a little bit easier, but it's still though, like you gotta use a little bit more tools and a little bit more techniques to remove the vinyl wrap. This stuff, just pull on a good little. So okay, so this was the I didn't really get to. Actually, I'll put a picture here. That way you guys can see what it looked like before I freaking completely start to demolish the whole dip job. But that's actually with the wheels, the lip, and all the accessories. Again, it looked okay. It looked good. I just wasn't content because I am way too picky. So I know that I won't say that I will never do plasti dip again. I will say I will. eventually, like, I want to get better at it and maybe even offer it to some clients in the future. But again, just so here's where I'm pretty much showing you just really want to grab a corner and dig into it. And trust me, that it's not as easy as you think that it'll tear. You would think that this stuff would tear really easily. Sorry, but you have to put some work to it. So right here, I'm actually scratching them with my fingernail, and see, there's actually really good. Like, there's a really good barrier. You can't really scratch it that easy, guys. So it's some pretty good stuff right there. Just dragged my nail, and I can't even puncture it. Um, all I'm saying though, again, is that once you do collect that little tab, like scratch off that little tab, and then you start to get like maybe like a handful of the Plasti dip. After that, it removes pretty easily. I mean, really easily, and I mean it's a win situation for, when it comes to wrap. Sure, it may look a lot better. You got some glossy colors, which obviously you could contain some glossy colors as well with the Plasti dip as well, if you're in different states, not in California, because they don't sell the actually gloss top coat here because of California compliance. But whatever. The only benefits I see with vinyl wrap is you got so many colors. It comes in gloss, and but this is so much easier to apply, so much easier to remove. It seems to be also very durable. So Plasti dip to me was great. Just didn't like the job. Whoa, bah. Well, I'm not gonna edit that out, so don't mind that noise. But anyways, Plasti dip was cool. Definitely gonna do it again in the future, but maybe when it has some sales, because I just find it to be a little too pricey for being that I paint cars, and I could do it in a much more budget way. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to tune in for the next video. Probably gonna spray my dad's car, his little daily beater. Gonna spray his car, his '96 Civic, with that 2-stage HVLP, the same one I used on this video, and see what kind of results I get. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And like always, smash that like button. Make sure you guys share it. Make sure you guys comment. Get engaged with the channel. So yeah, appreciate it, guys. Till next time.